All right, let's move along and take a look at the notables around the state of Ohio from week number 7. We've already run through our top 7. Now let's check on the notables, some of the big performances around the state last week. Findlay's Ryan Montgomery, one of the top quarterback recruits not only in Ohio but across the state, went 20 for 28 last week in a 48-17 win over Toledo St. Francis. He only threw a half dozen touchdown passes. Second straight week, he has thrown for 6 scores. He has 19 on the season. He's only a sophomore, oh, by the way, and has already received offers from, you pick a major Power 5 school. Ryan Montgomery has received an offer from that school. Findlay got the W, or they got the win in that game. Speaking of getting victories, Middletown knocked off Colerain 20-18 last Friday. The first time since 2008, those two Greater Miami Conference rivals have got together, with Middletown coming out on the victory side of things, a string of 12 straight games, as there were a couple of years when the teams did not play each other because of the odd number of schools in that league. But Middletown beating Colerain 20-18 last Friday. David Holman rushed for a school record 353 yards in a victory, 62-27 over St. Henry. Hunter Schaefer added 119 yards and 4 touchdowns for New Bremen. That's a team we mentioned a couple of times. They're 6-1 on the season, and that was an impressive win over St. Henry. 4 touchdowns and 353 yards. Waverly snapped a 4-game losing skid as they moved down to the southern part of the state. They knocked off Valley by the final of 60-7. Back-to-back defensive touchdowns from senior Peyton Harris and freshman Carson Peters in the win for the Waverly Tigers in a Southern Ohio Conference game. In Bellefontaine last week, Tavian St. Clair passed for 412 yards and 7 scores as Bellefontaine rolled past a pretty good Springfield Shawnee team, 53-32. St. Clair 7 touchdown passes in that game in the Central Buckeye Conference. A big night for that young man. Big upset in the Ohio Heritage Conference last week. Cedarville, which has gone over the 500 mark in just 2 games in a season for the first time in 9 years, defeated a pretty good program, Springfield Catholic Central, last week, 20-7. They are a Division 7 school, Cedarville. One of those programs that deals with number issues almost every single year. One of the reasons why they haven't had a lot of success, but they're putting it together now. And again, they play in the Ohio Heritage Conference, and that was a big win over the second-ranked team in the state in Division 7, Springfield Catholic Central. St. Ed defeated St. Ignatius 48-6. Coach Chuck Kyles retiring after 40 years of leading St. Ignatius. It was the most lopsided victory in the history of the rival between St. Edward and St. Ignatius, a big matchup there. And Crestview picked off 3 passes in a 37-7 win over South Central. You really got to wonder, are they defensive back high school? Look at the numbers. A pick 6 by Caden Cunningham. They have 11 interceptions in their first 7 games, and they are the only unbeaten team left in Richland County. So congratulations to the run by Crestview right now, and that was an impressive win over South Central, 37-7. How about this game coming up this Friday night in the northwest part of the state, a Western Buckeye League game? We'll get Michael Hearn's thoughts on this when he joins us a little bit later on. Defiance and Salina, the 2 teams last year, went 4-16. Well, they're both 5-2 going into this one this Friday night. Big turnaround for Salina and Defiance. And again, that game will be this Friday night in the Western Buckeye League. So a big matchup coming up there as we go around the state of Ohio. So some interesting matchups coming up on this week in week number 8 of the high school football season.